characters online. Like Dima. I told you from the get-go. And you should have listened to me. Shamos is a character. He fell in love with the character. He was so blinded by the character that when I, a person who knew him before this newly invented character came to be, was warning you, don't fall in love with the character. You looked at me and you said, Nathan, it's deeper than that. Trust me, I know. And to listen to you, bring down this man inside this room because you think you understand the character. It's bad. Look. An incel, right, only exists because of women like you. Like Nani. Like when Nani talks about men. Can I finish? Yeah, because Nani talks about men. Incels only exist because women like you. Because you guys have an expectation for what type of guy you want. You think that you could just sit your raggedy ass right inside a coffee shop or inside the mall.
No.
Oh my God, bro. That's my last one. You think that you can sit your ass down inside a store and just sit there and look pretty and the guy will just drop from the sky and pop into your arms, right? I get that. Women don't work for anything, right? But when you guys say you expect for these guys all the time, without putting in any work, you just expect, you get other men who don't like that. They feel that you're lazy. Feel like you don't do shit. The only thing you can do is just look fucking pretty. Who wants that? And that's what upsets men. Women who think that they deserve a good man just because they could spray their ass in some raggedy ass perfume and put on a fucking thong and walk down the street.
I'm mad that I just sprayed my perfume when you said that shit. Like, I really... I went to work and I just sprayed my perfume.
Fema and Jinx, my PTR is how I feel when Nathan was talking about how pretty we were.
I know, that was so nice.
He called us pretty like 5 times. He's like, all you guys have to do is sit there and be pretty. Jealousy. That's what's, I'm envy. That's what I'm experiencing.
I wish all I had to do was sit and look fucking pretty, dude. Are you kidding me? You too, Nani?
Yeah, forget those damn feminists. Fuck them feminists. I don't want to work.
Let's get back.
Wait, I want to get back to the conversation.
Stop acting like
we did it. We did it.
Women
do not want to work, okay? And we want to stay home. We want to play with our puppies and have coffee dates and do Pilates, okay? I want to go and have sushi every single night. I don't want to labor. I don't want to work. Those feminists, they ruined our lives, okay? And did you guys know that black women, there was laws in the Carolinas that forced black women who were able to stay at home at the time back into careers because white women needed somebody to be their maids and, you know, and their whatever.
What?
Yes, I'll find you the article. This was an actual law in one of the Carolinas, either south or north. And it was like, and this is the destruction. It's like there was a time where black men could afford to keep you at home with your, you know, bonbons. But no, America ruined that. And Nathan, when you find my future husband to retire me, let me know so I can sit there and be pretty.
Dang, this stupid ass system. Our systems have detected high usage of this feature and I can't fucking heart or whatever you can. I'm sorry, Nathan. You know it's how ridiculous you sound. You're talking Bree, educated women who can hold their own. Talking, we just want to sit and be pretty. Guarantee you we put in the work. Guarantee you we show up. So, I mean, I don't even know. You're kind of like having a conversation with yourself there, man. Maybe projection. Maybe that's the woman that you went for. I'm sorry, Nathan. That's a you problem. That's a you problem.
I'd like to nominate Nathan for the petty poll. Him and Eric are the pettiest men in chillism.
So when we say educated, are we talking about high school or middle school? What are we talking about?
Say that again?
About grown women, bro. Like grown women.
Is that
they don't actually. Grown women don't actually. He asked the question. Yeah. So grown women don't actualize anything, right? They wait for something to happen. Men are the one that actualize. The man has to go there and take his ass out there and work, while the woman just waits, right? Hey, hopefully he'll see me. 1 second. Hopefully he'll see me. Oh, if I wear this, I heard that in the magazine that guys are attracted to the scent of a woman. So if I take my fingers and I dip it inside my you-know-what and put it on my neck, men would just all of a sudden be attracted to me. This is how the woman thinks. And when they get out there and work, right, what they're doing is just wasting time until they get pregnant. They're just like, hey, you know what? I'm bored. Let me go out there and work. Then when I'm pregnant and I get married, I don't have to do this anymore. That's the mind of a woman. I'm telling you this. These raggedy ass females in here that don't have kids, not a fucking woman. They're little girls playing Barbie dolls. As soon as they get pregnant, that's when they graduate from a little girl into a real fucking woman. And all that shit would be outside of their fucking system. Oh yeah, they will definitely know how it is to work. Because they will know what it is to be a real woman and take care of their fucking family. Right now, listen now. Oh, I need a man like this, a man like that. You need a man like this, a man like that, because all you want to do is just go out there and get your ass bust down. That's not what a real woman does. A real woman prepares for a king. And I know some of you white women don't understand that as well too. And you raggedy ass, nappy-headed black holes too. But you'll see, once you get your kinks, you will definitely know how it is to be a real woman. And hopefully, you get one would honor you. That when you open up those dang suck muscles, he don't put his foot up in your ass. Because all that dang shit you're doing now, once you get a man, you know you want to talk.
Wake it up? I don't know, bro.
Wake what up?
Wait, what
Go ahead,
you calling us raggedy hoes too?
I didn't say listen. If I
You know my favorite.
call you, I would have
You
said
said
the names. I didn't say any
You're
names.
interrupting me. You're interrupting me.
I'm just saying, I didn't say any.
I was on mute. You're interrupting me. That was a beautiful demonstration, Nathan, and you're trolling. You're so talented, and there's so many days that I wish I could talk like you in chillism, because you do it so like a flat affect and so serious. Like, I'm pretty sure you lied to the person that you live with about where you are, and you do it so well. I just want a quick. I also just want to say that, like, men telling women how to be women is always very interesting to me. And maybe Huey, I don't know if you're around, but maybe we can connect that to the gender dysmorphia. Maybe more men are experiencing gender dysmorphia than we actually know, since they know what it's like to be a woman and how to behave like a woman and dress like a woman, and how to attract men. So thank you, Nathan. Maybe we should have that conversation later.
Say something.
I wanted to ask the men in the room, because I think that.
I'll go after Carolyn.
Thank you. I think the men in this room are of high quality. I think that they are high value men. I think that they set the standard, and they're a great representation of what it means to be led by such smart, educated alpha males, right? Now, someone like myself, who is morbidly obese, ratchet, no kids,
and gay,
gay. pH balance is off because I've been drinking coffee since I was 6. What else do people think? Dark skin, and there's nothing wrong with being dark skin, by the way. I'm just going off of the narratives about me, right? How is somebody like me, who don't have no children, no man, takes my moderating position more serious than my actual job, you know, lonely, might be a cat lady? Is there hope for someone like me who would want to eventually have children, become married to an alpha male? Eventually, he'll get me off a Clubhouse, and so I can live happily ever after. Is there hope for somebody like me?
Hell yeah, you hella fucking. What you
I
doing?
would
You
love
said
for Nathan
to answer that.
Well, she said,
And I would
Okay,
also
okay,
love for Nathan to remember
Okay.
everything he
Oh,
said
You better answer.
in the past 2
Can I-
years when he answers that. Go ahead, Nathan.
Okay. Yeah. So I just want to say this, Caroline. Of course, there's a guy out there, but I just want
But
to
that's
say
not,
this.
no, wait, Nathan, no. Not a guy. I want the guy
That guy.
yes, the guy I said the
How
alpha
about men
male,
like you?
the money, the high volume, exactly. What
Yeah,
would
that
I
is a
need
guy,
to do
yeah.
to attract that type of man?
Honestly.
Lose some weight, number one.
Oh, come on, Nachin. Come on, be quiet. Honestly, I will refer you to the Honorable, peace be upon him, and rest in peace. He passed away, Kevin Samuels. He has definitely some recommendations for like average women to get themselves what he calls like, that alpha high value man. But I just want to say this to Nani.
Yes, darling.
Yes,
Let
so
me be
we clear.
quiet as a woman.
Just so we
should.
clear. Yeah, clear. Just because.
Can anyone else hear him?
My
Sorry.
That's crazy. The Lord blocked that shit.
My headset was messing up. But anyways, just look. Just
No,
because,
we heard everything you said. That was so brilliant.
I know you didn't because I could hear you, and I know I couldn't hear because I heard my headset. But look, just because you have a vagina does not make you a woman. Let me give you an example of that.
See,
If
more
there's a
gender
guy out
dysmorphia.
Oh my God, shut the fuck up. Anyway, if there's a guy out there who has responsibilities, like he has 5 kids, right? He doesn't have a job, he stays at home. And he tells people, hey, I'm a man. The majority of men in the world will say, you're not a man. Because you're not doing what you're supposed to do to be a man, right? That's the same thing what it is to be a woman. Just because your raggedy ass is out there and you have a job does not make you a fucking woman. Now, the last great woman in y'all fucking lives was probably your grandmother. And I know your grandmother did not live a life that you lived. Out there on the streets, talking to Tom, Dick, and Harry. None of that shit. Because I have a grandmother, and she told me, hey, that's not how a woman should be. She told me, when you go out there, you look for a woman. Not a little girl, a woman. A
Woman without a
Somebody is-
vagina.
Shut up. Some of these raggedy ass girls inside this room. So I'm telling you how to be a woman from a good fucking source. A real fucking woman. Not y'all. Y'all listen to Lil Kim and Cardi B.
Not
That's who
too
y'all
much
better
on
know
Lil
who it is
Kim
to be a fucking
and
woman.
Cardi B.
Yeah.
Oh my
Shut your
God.
black ass up. Shut your black ass up. Yeah.
That
Y'all,
was Beamer, bro. I'm sorry, man.
yeah, that's what I'm talking to. Yeah, so anyways, like I was trying to say, y'all got what it is to be a woman from Lil Kim, Foxy Brown, Cardi B. That's who y'all learn how to be a woman from. That's not a woman. They call that type of girl a bitch. I want to say it, but I'm just saying that's what they call that.
Oh,
So wait, when I asked you,
wait,
when I asked
forgot
you,
Carolyn.
wait, hold on, when I asked you like if there's hope for me, why didn't you revert me back to my grandma? You reverted me to a YouTube personality who got ousted for having a man in his living room apartment. Why you revert me back to my grandma?
I also just want to clarify, Huey, this is example number 2. Nathan said that just because we have vaginas doesn't mean we are women. Again, this is my theory about gender dysmorphia and chillism. Mark this, please.
To be fair, you didn't get the actual takeaway that like just because you have a vagina it doesn't make you a woman, it makes you a little girl playing and being a man.
This is petty.
So what I just want to point out, because what he's actually talking to is like the weird idea that like womanhood can be achieved in the same way that manhood can. So manhood has historically been associated with provision and creating infrastructure for protection, and so like the patriarchal structures that like are designed for that. But then women entering the workforce and trying to participate in the same type of patriarchal structures, like you can't achieve womanhood by playing men's games. Right, I think is the broader point that he was making, right?
Huey, who forced
also,
black women into labor?
No one.
No one? So there were no laws that forced black women, especially in this country, into labor.
No.
Wait, I'm sorry. So when is it that you're forced versus that like you're equal contributors? Because Sugar Belly just the other day was telling me all the wonderful
she's
things
crazy.
women. Oh, hold on. Oh, she's crazy. Oh, but wait, hold on. Every time I try and set up a debate between the two of you, you guys never you never do it. Anyway, but I just want to point out that.
Wait, when have you tried to start a debate between me and her?
Every other time, like literally the first time I suggested it, you said no, I wouldn't want to debate her.
Listen, Huey, you forced us to listen to her and AKA
Let that man talk, bro. Let him finish. You do all that stuff.
5 hours.
When you talk about something afterwards.
The point is, nobody's ever forced women into labor. Like, women have had jobs historically. Oh, so women didn't farm? Agriculture can't be attributed to women?
Forced labor.
I thought women
Men
wanted
should be farming.
No, that wasn't the question. That wasn't.
I don't want to work.
Nigeria look like the way it does.
Okay.
You got all these
Let him make his point. I wanted to get his point, please. Let him
Why
make
does
his
it look like the way
Man, let me move your drunk ass down. You see that? That's exactly how each one up just like that. When y'all open up y'all suck muscles.
Yo,
Go ahead, you do your thing.
for the record, Huey, I feel like when she kept saying forced labor, I'm thinking about being forced to have a baby. Like dead ass. I'm like, oh.
But knowledge, some women are forced to have a baby, though. I mean,
No, I thought that's what you guys were talking about.
12 states in this country don't allow women to have an abortion. What women are forced to give birth.
Okay.
I fully heard.
Come on, Huey, you muted Huey. Just so you know.
No, I muted because it seems like no one really actually wants to have a conversation.
No, I agree with you.
Come on, shut up, honey.
I was responding to Huey's.
No, you're not. He made his point.
Is he in the Matrix?
Is he in the Matrix?
Yeah, I think he's in the Matrix.
But how do you respond to Huey if he never made his point?
I think he did though, right? His point was
No, he doesn't. He got cut off. He said that when he got cut off with a bunch of questions, and he tried to answer the questions. Then he kept on getting cut off.
And then got cut off.
I apologize. High value.
So let Huey land then. Just let him land and then
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
rip his little stupid bullshit
Well,
out.
if you all just all be quiet at once.
ADHD have an ass.
Well, I guess I don't even know where to continue from. So to answer that direct question, like, just to be clear, the question was, when were women forced into labor? And I said they weren't, right? There's never been a historical time when women were forced into labor, right? Women have always participated in labor communally alongside men. The issue, right, when women were fighting for rights was the right to participate in the same kind of labor as men. It's not that women couldn't work. Women had jobs, right? They, as is pointed out in the Quran, in the Bible, women worked in markets. Women had like a specific set of duties in society that, like, when they asked for rights, it was about getting the same kind of access to certain types of labors as men did. It's not that women weren't allowed to work, right? And it's not that women were ever forced to work either. Women always had options. So they had options in terms of like working. They had options in terms of like proceeding in sort of like their traditional paradigms of like doing family businesses and things like that. They also had options in terms of like ultimately playing the same game that Nathan's talking about, which is sit pretty and hope for a good man to take care of you, right? Because a lot of social conventions are sort of like allowed for that. So like women have always historically had options, but the problem is historically they never had the same kind of options that men did, and that's what they actually fought for, to equalize that particular balance. Like the idea that like women weren't allowed to work is absolutely fallacious. It's absolutely stupid, right? So that's the first point. And then like to Nathan's overall point is that like the way the feminism tried to solve for that is to give women access to the same sort of like work as men, has now created this weird social problem where little girls think that acting like a man is how you ultimately become a woman. See, like when we talk about men and women as categories, remember we're talking about adult human males or females, right? And like ultimately the distinctions about adulthood, like the rites of passage for adulthood for men typically involve creating capacity to be able to sort of like give that or provide for other people, whereas the rites of passage for women typically didn't necessarily involve that, right? Now we can argue about like cross-culturally what that might have meant, but generally speaking,
You
like,
lie like you talk. You lie like you talk. You're full of bullshit. No.
is this the gay Nazi?
I think he's Australian. So
He's
like,
actually Sudanese. And
He said that she was about the land. He got cut off. This ain't their time to talk.
Wait, I thought Huey was done so I could respond to this.
How you thought Huey was done and he got cut off? I think that makes sense to me.
But I'm
a young girl. I can't handle this pressure.
I'm gonna just move out the way.
ADHD, man, that's a problem.
I wonder if it has anything to do with maybe just the economy has just gotten so, like, everyone kind of needs to work in order to have a really good quality of life. Like, I don't know how you guys like to operate your lives, but maybe working is a necessity for everyone now, and now men are kind of like retroactively getting envious at the fact that women used to didn't have to work. But I don't know like what world you guys live in now, but everybody needs to get the fuck up and go to work.
No,
like, I don't know.
Can I?
Hold on. I'll go after you.
Let me just point out one thing. Women could always work. The fight for rights was never about having the right to work. So there's no difference in terms of like that particular paradigm between today and 100 years ago. The issue is not about like women can work versus women can't work, right? There's women today who don't have to work because they're so pretty. Like women today literally take pictures in front of cars, jets, yachts, and things like that that they don't own, but that they have access to. Right, so the idea that like women have to work and the work is not the actual issue. It's about the sort of like social cultural like influence on the personality that's had on like most individual women today. Right, so in other words, like because of the sort of like new shift or paradigm into like male roles, what has that actually done at the individual level, and how does that like scale up social culturally? Then how does that like feed back into the individual once again? Right, so in other words, there's a new personality and an archetype that's been grafted onto women, and it's been adopted en masse, and it's like really uncomfortable to perpetually deal with. Like the idea that you and I have the same job, therefore you think that we're equal across all dimensions is ridiculous, right? That's why like men are forced to play these weird games where we do the comparison thing. Before we didn't have to do the comparison thing. It was understood that there are differences between men and women. But like women now do these male jobs and think that we're the same, and like they have to be painfully reminded that we're not. I'll give you the perfect example. You guys remember that the Serena Williams controversy, that somebody had to explain to a grown-ass woman at 50 years old that Serena Williams could not beat a man. Somebody had to explain that to her. She had been living in this bubble for so long because men and women are doing the same shit now that she genuinely thought that it was inappropriate for him to point out that Serena Williams is one of the best female tennis players. And then she tries to correct him. Why'd you have to say female? Why not just say tennis player? People actually built the equality rhetoric so hard that now men have to play this weird game where it's like, you actually have to be reminded that we're not the same. Doesn't mean one is better than the other. We don't have to play that game. But like, to think that like, your personality you can just graft on a male personality and then play male games and you'd be on equal footing is absolutely ridiculous. And then there's a comedian who
that scenario.
Actually, you lie.
Hold on, I wanted to respond to Huey. I said I wanted to respond after Huey because I wanted to
Our
respond.
problem is that he has said so much stuff and he didn't take a break to allow us to respond to different points. The scenario with Serena Williams is the best male player would not beat her. Not just any man. I just wanted to clarify.
Wait, hold on.
But you said a lot of stuff and you won't
How is that relevant?
match with you.
I think you're missing the point as to why.
No, I don't miss the point. I just wish that you would let me respond to the multiple points.
Domineering man.
Daddy is a man.
She's a man woman. Ugh. When did she have femininity? What happened to her femininity?
She was responding now.
Who was responding?
King was responding.
No, she was interrupting Huey. Huey, you finished?
I didn't. A cut me off, then I let him cut me off, and then I jumped in as well.
Thank you. Now this is not paying attention.
And then I'll go. King H, then I'll go. Go ahead, King.
No, I don't want to go at all because he's saying so much and then he talks for 5 minutes and how are we supposed to respond?
Okay, H, do you want to
You're trying to flood the zone with shit. Flood the zone.
Get on code, Ryan.
I wanna say, give me like 30 seconds. I wanna say something real quickly. Like people like Huey, they talk for so long. So William Williams said in Serena Williams said in 2012 that she can't defeat a male opponent in anything to do with tennis. Everything else that. I'm done. Go ahead, love.
Thank you, AJ. Huey, I wanted to say, I don't think that you really responded to what Jink said. Jink said that she was talking about how the economy changed and how women have had to get into the workforce much more than we had to. In the 1970s, after we went off the gold standard, up until that point, no, this is, hold on, you could listen, facts speak for themselves. When we went off the gold standard in the 1970s, okay, we had savings account, and it was just one, it was a one parent working, right? Then the 80s, that started to change. By the 90s, we started, there had to be two parents and we completely lost our savings. Okay, so by 2000, I hate that dog. I swear, I'm not a violent person, but that dog could die. So by 2000, okay, we've had to have two people in the household, both mom and dad working. Okay, now if you look, you could even look up the statistics about look at how many mothers in the 1950s worked versus now. In the it's completely reversed. In the 1950s, 25% of mothers with kids were in the labor force. Now, in 2025, it's about 75%, and we're not surviving. We're barely breathing above what net by homes. We can't do shit. Jinx was on point with that point, and you completely overpassed it. And what I think it was a really, really good point is that, yeah, you could skull it. The statistics talk about it, and if you listen to economists, these are overlapping disciplines. You talk to economists, you talk about our economy, they bring that up, right? You learn about fiat, you learn about the dollar, they talk about this, about the dynamics of how the mother and father start working in the household. And what I think is interesting is because it's been so there is a dynamic change, and you're saying, like you have mentioned, the thing is that a woman who's operating in the same field feels that she's well, hold on. If we're both yeah, of course we're gonna feel. If you and I have the same job, of course I'm gonna feel like you're equal, right? If I'm making the money doing the same job as you, yeah, I'm gonna. And that's gonna change the psychology of the family at home, right? Because now women are not only taking care of the kids. Okay, men, you basically come, fucking bing, bang, boom, make sure the fucking and you go back to work. It's the women that have now, on top of having to raise the children, make sure do the groceries, do fucking clean the house, which is, and Nathan said it, that's a full-time job. Motherhood is a full-time job on itself. You don't see, guarantee you talk to one fucking father on this panel right now, right? And you get their wife, besides Nathan, because Nathan, it would be reverse. You ask them, who are your children's best friends? What are your children's teachers' names? What are your children's birthdays? Who are your children's doctors? Guarantee you the moms are going to answer. They're going to be able to tell you the last time they shit, what it looked like, what they eat, what they're allergic to, how they're everything. And so, yeah, Jink, you were on point.
I just want to
stop a little bit. I'm only on point a little bit of time in here, but I do want to make a very stark separation here. In my household, my husband is above me in all the ways, all the time. What he says goes. But definitely, if I work and I do the same thing that you do and you're a man, we're getting paid equally and you're going to respect me. But at home, my husband wears the drawers and I would sniff them if he asked me to.
I also want to wait. Can I respond, please?
Until it gets fired.
What is going on with this person? Jesus Christ. Huey, you have experiences with people on Clubhouse, and you're reminded that you're a decent human being, and you're like, thank Almighty God that I don't have those problems. I just want to highlight to you, Huey, are you removing, sir? Are you also delineating Black women's experience to white women's experience when you're talking about the history of women working or not working, Huey?
Okay, so let's be super clear.
That's just a yes or no question. That's not. I don't want a 10-minute response.
Oh, okay, fine. No, I'm not.
Okay, so that's the issue there, I believe, is that not everybody had access to the space to just rest. And so I think that is the issue that I have. I mean, we have periods of enslavement. Even currently right now, East African women are enslaved in Egypt, Lebanon, Jordan, Saudi Arabia. And so I just think that, like, the idea that people have access, yes, it could be because they're attractive to rest, but I also feel like the Black woman's experience in any country is different, and it needs to be delineated.
Can I be added after concrete?
Do you think that
I'm gonna leave when he
Huey?
talks.
Yeah, please do. That'll be awesome. Huey, do you think that when there's these conversations in the real world and somebody offers a submission that's completely brain dead, that the rest of the people who are trying to tackle the problem just exclude that person from further involvement and engagement? And that is why women aren't a part of like poppers, because every time they tried to they were given an opportunity to contribute, they tried to do some fucking weird Jedi mind trick in the most amateurist of ways. Everybody saw it and said, "Get the fuck up out of here." And nobody would ever let a woman like this like represent their company or their country or any organization, right? And that's why we don't see women in power. Could that be a reason?
I think that could be a major reason. I was about to call out an interesting phenomenon that like attributable to sort of like postmodernism and part of like sort of like how feminism has influenced like teaching.
Wait, hold on, ASB. Are you responding to concrete? Because I did say I wanted to.
Yeah,
The question was to him. Are you not paying attention?
No,
Pay attention.
ASB, hold on, ASB.
Okay, I was just joking.
Okay, go ahead, Huey. You can respond. I'll go after you, Huey.
I'll keep it super quick. Like, there's a phenomenon that's like that's been pretty pervasive as a function of like the weird unholy mix of postmodernism and feminism, like of the Simone de Beauvoir variety. Look into her if you don't know who she is. She wrote a book called The Second Sex. Okay, yeah. So, and one of the things that I call this cheap intellectualism, where if the conversation gets tough in certain intersectionality, for example, for no good reason. Right, like if we're talking about men and women, and then now you want to talk about black and white, it's like insert intersectionality because it sounds intellectual, because Kimberly Crenshaw, because yada yada yada, like because you can thread a whole bunch of things unnecessarily if we're talking about a given thing. It's called cheap intellectualism, right? A real quick way to sound smart whilst being completely discordant or discursive or disjunctive to the actual conversation that's happening. That's my answer.
Imagine comparing white women who have owned black. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I asked to go next. I don't know, maybe this is just a derailment, whatever, but what I'm not hearing in the conversation is like the women who, and I'm in and out the conversation because I'm working, but like, not all women, just like anything, right, when we're talking about people, right, like not all women want the same thing. Not all women want the husband and the kids and all of that. And I think that it's kind of dangerous to kind of like put women in this one bucket as if we want the same thing when it comes to existing in the patriarchy. Like, I believe that, and this may sound super liberal, I don't really care, but I am of the, or I agree with like dismantling traditional roles within a relationship. Like, if a man wants to stay at home and take care of the kids while the woman goes out and makes the bread, I don't see an issue in that. Like, if a man wants to be with a woman legally and fuck niggas in the ass on the side in the lavender marriage, if that's what those two people agree on, let them do that. I just think that like when we kind of like we put societal norms on people who don't want to fit into that category but still wants to have some sort of union, I just think that's very oppressive. And I think we need to like, and maybe we don't, but I think the conversation needs to be more inclusive to people who like enjoy being single or enjoy not having children. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I saw the other day where this woman on TikTok, she had a autistic kid, and she just broke down crying like, "Yo, like I wish I never had my child." So like, if I don't know, I just feel like when we have these conversations, it's often one-sided or quote unquote heteronormative in a sense, where like we all think that everybody's striving for this one idea or this like ancient idea of man, woman, children, picket fence, man, household, woman in a more submissive, subservient role so she can be loved.
Up next.
I don't know. I don't know. I just think that the conversation can be stretched a little bit more when it's more inclusive to all people, because not everybody wants to be married. And it doesn't make you a bad woman if you don't. If you don't want to have children, if you don't want to be married, if you don't, want to be submissive. I think you can still be happy and not have to fall into that.
Yeah, so you want to say something, brother?
Sorry, I did call to go after Guava, so that I get this.
Okay, sorry. All right, I'll go after you.
But, okay, because I said that I didn't admit something. I literally said I'm after Guava when.
No, not you, sir. Not you,
I'm after
sir.
you.
Okay, so real quick, so Bima, because Bima had said something about me not like addressing that, and that like Jinx was on point, and I don't think she understood what my critique of Jinx's point was. So there's an insinuation or an inference that ever since the working dynamics, like between men and women, have changed as a function of women being allowed to work or whatnot, that's what's led to X, Y, and Z problems. And all I was doing was pointing out that, like, look, in terms of dynamics, women have always worked. That's never actually, you can't attribute it to that, right? You have to look up, like, what within the work dynamics has changed. And what I was pointing out is that, like, look, giving women access to male jobs such that, like, women now think men and women are equal, right, across all dimensions, not just in work, has created this weird problem where women are adopting the archetype of equality where it's really inappropriate. And then I gave the example of Serena Williams, what happened with the Serena Williams thing, to demonstrate that, like you have women who literally think that men and women are equal across the board just because we get to do the same jobs, such that like a woman legitimately was confused by the fact that Serena Williams is the best female tennis player, but is incomparable to the best male tennis player. So much so that like even Serena Williams herself admitted that like she might even lose at a collegiate level to like some of the male tennis players, right? Like, so it's not even close. Like, and Serena Williams talked about like all the reasons why she'd lose to a man, like the ball speed, all of these other things. Like there's weird disillusionment that's happened because you think we do the same jobs now, that you think we're equal across other dimensions. And it's sad to constantly be put in a position as a man who like genuinely cares to like build and cooperate with women, put in a position where you kind of have to just be reminded, like even in chess, do you think that men and women are equal in chess? An intellectual sport, there is no physical activity, just chess. Do you think men and women are equal there? And then you Google it. I'm sure all of you are ChatGPT. No, hold on. It's a rhetorical fucking question. Shut the fuck up, Luca. So just chat. No, shut the fuck up. No, shut the fuck up. You can't answer shit, nigga. Not you. You're not built like that. So listen, your mind's not built like that, nigga. Your mind's not built like that. You gotta smooth.
Oh, it's a cockfight.
Wait. Stop. Aya, why is there a women's league for chess? Why isn't it just unisex? That's the point. Why is there a women's league?
Men are much more competitive and it seems toxic, but overall, I don't know.
Wait, Ayo. I'm glad that you said you don't like it. It's uncomfortable reality, right? That you would think that it's only sport that like differ. And my point isn't that men are better than women. That's not the point. We're different. And the issue is, rather than talking about the differences and how to maximize for how women are different, we keep playing this weird game where women have to be the same. And while I actually agree with what you're saying, right? The issue is like we don't acknowledge like the disparity in sort of like different dynamics, and we don't try and bring those into the fold. Part of the reason why is because women are so often trying to act like men. It's little girls playing at manhood. That's the point that Nathan was making. So when I came off and gave my submission, I was giving credence to what Nathan was saying. Like a lot of you who think you're women, you're not. You're little girls playing at men. Right? You've left your femininity behind in order to play the male games, and now you've adopted these archetypes that like genuinely believe that as long as you play the game just like how men do, you can be a version of womanhood that's ultimately equal to manhood. It's like that's not That's not possible, right? Why don't we just appreciate femininity and womanhood for what it is and figure out a way to make the relationship in society more equitable across the board? Let's appreciate what women are.
You're falling for that kind of. You're falling for masculinity.
I'm next.
I'm disappointed.
Yeah, shut your black ass up, Nani. You always argue about black and white. That's a social construct. So don't do that dumb shit. Go ahead, Concrete.
No, Huey, you done? Thank you, Nate. You done, Huey?
I wasn't, but Nani has a problem with me being long-winded.
You are long-winded.
Wait. I just want to say for the record, I would rather be long-winded than be so ADHD brain that I have to like ankle bite and cut off every single conversation.
5-minute submission is ridiculous if you're trying to engage in a conversation with the whole room.
Yeah, so Huey, you did touch on something that I think is pretty interesting, which is these desires to be manly, which we can clearly see in some of the women here. And I think I'm gonna put on my empathetic hat or my empathy hat, and I'm gonna say somebody lied to them. I'm gonna say that in their formative developmental years, somebody lied to them about what they needed to do in order to navigate this world, and they adopt this philosophy, and it's them now. They made it them, and they cannot and will not change. Even when you present the data of the cat lady future, even when you present the data about what men actually want and how to, navigate the world with men, they still stick to their guns. And if you notice, the women who aren't, these aren't gay women, or I don't know, but these are women who aren't going to be their spouses, and they're encouraging all their bad behavior. And it gets even worse when you see married women encourage non-married women in the behavior that keeps them single. That right there is the diabolical fucking feedback loop system that just doesn't fucking make any sense. It's almost like, I don't know, people might think I'm being personal. I don't want to get personal, so I'll just leave it at that. But I'll just say, it is, I think you should be empathetic, and I think if we could figure out how to get them to disarm themselves, right? Nuclear disarmament agreement, then maybe there's a future that could be had, right? But they keep ignoring it. They keep shouting it down. They have their homegirls to support them. And it's so crazy. We could go back to Aisha Curry. Aisha Curry, I don't know. I didn't come up with this conclusion. They say Aisha Curry is being influenced by whole culture. And I think I could see the argument there. I didn't think of it originally. I just thought that this was a woman who doesn't appreciate, doesn't respect her man, doesn't revere her man, and this is just a woman who wants more shine, right? And she's jealous, basically. She's jealous of her nigga's shine, and that is gotta be the worst thing to be in a partnership with. Can you imagine being in a lifelong partnership with somebody who's jealous of you? No. Fucking A, bro. And I think women are jealous of men. We do get to, do all the shit that men do. And I don't think men are jealous of women, right? We don't look at them and say, damn, I want that life. So it is a one-sided jealousy. And can we help them be happy with who they are and what they bring to the table? Even though what we do is more awesome? I don't know. I think that's what it is. I think they are so enamored with the male lifestyle that they want to adopt it, and they have left their plantation to try to get onto our plantation. And there's just like an electric fence. God created an electric fence. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that about chess, but that is interesting.
So God is so good.
So I would like to go real quick because I have to head out. Excuse me, sir. It's my turn. I called it after him. But I called. You can go after me. I won't be long.
You didn't say anything. Nobody know you didn't.
Yes, I did. You heard me. Huey,
did you hear her?
Yes.
Huey, did you hear her?
It was before when you were talking about it.
She said she's next.
It's not about that.
Did she say she's next?
I
Nani, go ahead. You're next, Nani. Go ahead.
Wow, look at that. Look at that. A check was
Because you
speaking.
being disruptive.
A check was speaking first.
I'm gonna leave by.
So go ahead. No, Nani, go ahead. And then a check goes afterwards. Where's the check? Go ahead, Nani, and then we'll allow a check to go.
I think Nani bounced. I think somebody kicked.
All right.
She got
So a check, come on up so you can go.
Chiek is like a weird ass cartoon
What you
character.
did was so horrible. What you did was so horrible. You have no idea. It was such a horrible thing you did because, like, she wasn't even going to talk because the other brother said the horrible.
Can anybody else like hear him?
I mean,
No, just let him.
So sorry, hold on.
He does sound like a German faggot, but let him.
Wait, point of moderation. I couldn't speak just now because I was driving and I was making a turn. I moved a chick to the group because Nani is right. She did call after when we were having this dispute. When I said I was going after Carolyn, so like Nani did call it, so that's why I moved a check to the group. It was supposed to be Nani.
No, you good. She left, but we'll give it to a check a bit.
That was a horrible thing to do.
Why are you talking shit about this man? You're a mod. Control yourself.
You're a horrible thing to say, like, it's a horrible thing to say to people, like, terrible. But anyway, like, everybody here understands the absolute facts, like, the boys and the facts and everything else like that. Concrete is a real man. Rocket, she's a real woman. I like Io. I like James, I think she's cool. Kanan, I think he's cool. Vaughn, same thing. But the same thing is like, you can't kind of be like, yeah, these people feel like the same way and everything else like that. It's not the truth. Because we feel the exact same different way of everything else like that. Because we all have same different personalities, same different everything else like that. And you can be like, look, Concord could be like, yeah, I check, what are you doing in Australia? What are you doing in South Sudan? And it could be different experiences and everything else like that. I don't like these experiences where you even be like, yeah, I'm going to do this because of a woman and everything else like that. It's not the same thing. And it's a horrible. And I appreciate you, Concord. I appreciate you. I appreciate the pockets and everybody else like that. But these people, they're horrible people. But yeah, go ahead.
Thanks. So I wanted to touch on things that Yui said and then also what Concrete said. So,
I'm after Pima.
thanks, Concrete.
Oh, I'm after Concrete.
So,
I'm done remove Concrete, at least don't do that.
I'm after you.
So what I sense I'm just going to tie it back to what Jinx had started. She planted the seed, and I'm still so focused on that because what I hear, like when he's talking, like I'm trying to look deeper, and I feel that there's a scarcity with men right now because historically their contributions have been the one that they have been the providers. Women have been the nurturers, they've been providers. Now we look the past 30, 50 years, there's been an entire shift where, like I said, you had 50 years ago, 25% of women that were mothers working. Now you have almost 75% that are working. And that's not because women want to work. It's because, and work outside of the house, it's because they have to. And that's something that's talked about. You hear that all in every economic form that you talk about. There has to be two incomes. Men can't be the providers anymore alone. And that psychological shift, right? Because now women, not only do they have to do their normal traditional roles of being the nurturer, the at home, they're taking part of course not the full provider role, but they're taking a big chunk out of that. So I feel that men are in scarcity because their value is in question, right? Women are in scarcity because now they're fulfilling two roles. Now they have less time to nurture because they have to be more of a provider. So their nurturing role provider has been split. So they just have less time for bullshit. So they're stepping more into a psychological masculinity because we have to, because that's by nature, that's what's going to happen. And to tie into some of the things Concrete said, and this is why, because I feel like I just see it so clear. He had said, women desire to be manly. No, we don't desire to be manly. I don't think that you could take any woman on this planet, and if you gave her the ability and afforded her the opportunity to truly, without scarcity, be able to step into a feminine role as a woman, I do not think that they wouldn't take it, right? But I think we have now, at this point, we've been in that scarcity. We're in that economic scarcity, what's going on with our economics. And then Concrete said something else, and this hit home to me, and this is very personal to me. And he fucking nailed it. He said, somebody lied to them about what they needed to do, and they adopted this philosophy, and now they cannot and will not change. It's not so much that they cannot and will not change. I just found out too fucking late. I was sold that bag of fucking tricks as a kid growing up. My parents, because now they're in scarcity. They're seeing my mom saw that she had to start to work now, which was not traditional for her. Her parents, only her father worked, right? Her father worked while the mom had 6 to 10 kids, and she was able to stay at home. But now my mom is struggling to support 3 kids with dad, and so she's telling me, okay, no, you got to make sure you got to work, you got to go to college, you got to do this. And I got fed that bag of tricks. And this whole time, I remember 18, 20 years old, I was thinking, yeah, look at all these fucking bitches having babies, stuck at home, not going to college. I'm going to college. I'm getting my degree. I got my degree. I'm thinking, even throughout that trajectory, women would still like fall off, or they would. I'm like, yeah, see, I got my degree. And I felt so bad. I felt so bad. And then when badass. And then later, now it's hitting me that all this time that I've put in this career and building this up, I'm looking back now at 39, and I see these women that were 20, 22, 25, having babies, having a whole family. Now they have a whole fucking family, and now they're going to college. Now they're doing everything. They're doing everything that they need to do. And I'm sitting here like my life. I feel like I felt that I've been lied to. I wish somebody told me the most important thing is family. Find somebody that you love. Figure out a way that you guys could support each other and have children. Hold on, I'm not done. And then it's your turn. I'm sorry. I know that there's a lot, but I feel that this is my personal anecdote. It might not be for everybody, but I feel that I felt wrong. That's how I felt. I felt that I had to focus on career, exactly what Concrete said, and that was pushed and shoved down my throat. Okay, and I shoved it down, and I feel guilty because I then raised my brother and sister, and I shoved it down their throat. And look at my sister. My sister is in the same fucking position I am, right? She has this big, beautiful house, all these acres, horses, all this shit. No fucking kid at 35 years old, right? Married, but no, now it's just gonna be because she went to school, she traveled, she did all this shit, career. No, and now we're lacking, and now we're fucked up, okay? So and I'm sorry, I'm long-winded. I just wanted to touch on the other things that Concrete said. Because Concrete also said, because I put some quotes here. They stick to the guns. Married women encourage non-married women to stay into staying single. He mentioned that. That's another fucking thing. Yes, that's exactly it. Because what happens is we are inverted. So the women that they envy me, and I then envy them. So the women who are married with kids, who didn't have the career, they're looking at me like, oh look, you got your career, you're getting your money, blah blah. You don't have kids, you're free, this is what you need to do. And they fucking encourage it, right? And so there is that weird fucking dynamic. But now later on in my life, I'm looking back like, no bitch, you're the one who fucking won, I'm the one who lost, because I'm gonna be alone with no fucking kids at 70, 80 years old, and it's a sick fucking thing for me, and it's just horrible. The worst thing in the world for a woman is when this is the last thing I'll say. I know. The worst thing in the world for a woman is to not be able to use her magic, and that is to have a baby. And that is the saddest thing, I think. Okay, and Concrete, I just wanted to say, you also said that women are jealous of men, and that's one-sided. And again, I would say 100% you're right about that too. We are, because when you look at the statistics of married men and married women and unmarried on both sides, who is the happiest? The happiest are the married men, they're happy because they're married because they get the woman to come in to be the mother, to not only be the mother to them and to take care of them, to be the mother role. They have everything. And women in married positions, they're lacking, they're suffocating, they're feeling, whatever else. And yes, we do, because we see that men have it much easier, and so there is an envy thing there too, I think.
No problem. I appreciate that, Bima. And there is something that you said that was interesting in the magic. And women have a magic that's beyond just child birthing. There is also the idea that a man is improved by his woman in such that he becomes more industrious. He gets the benefit of her and her ideas. He gets the benefit of her emotional support and encouragement. So that also is a magic that helps make men better than what they are, right? You're greater than the sum of your parts. The two of you came one and, turn that into something else. And men definitely credit women for that.
I'm going off the Congressman.
Even, one second, man, one second. I think somebody else.
We call it a muse.
I think Huey, and then I think Nate called after.
Oh, I'll go after you, Nathan.
No, it was Huey was
the killer of dialogue right here.
No, it was Nathan. Yeah,
Okay, I'll go after Nathan.
Yeah. You do that. You get in line after our men. Fucking A. Anyway, so where was I? So women do have that magic, and I'm gonna tell you something else. Women hold that magic back intentionally as well. A woman will know you, know what you need, and say, hell to the nah, I'm not finna give it to him because I know it's gonna make him greater, and I know he's gonna leave me when he's greater. It's an insecurity. And it has happened. I have seen a woman, tell me about a situation where she helped the dude get his credit right, start buying properties, and the nigga did bounce. Now, I don't know. Obviously, she didn't give me all the details. I don't know what her pH balance was. Anyway, that's a separate issue. But that's also the magic. And women, to their own, again, cutting their nose to spite their face, hold back that magic. Now, to what Guava was saying about women, be happy being alone, be happy not having kids, and she used the woman who had, the autistic child and said, I wish I never had my child. And that right there shows you that this attitude about not having children, not being a traditional relationship, not, being married, is a trauma response, right? The analogy she used was the lady who had the autistic child and said that I wish I didn't have my child. Now, obviously that lady was in an emotional moment. I hope she doesn't feel that way about her child. But it is what it is, right? And so we know that saying something like that is a result of her trauma. And that was used as an analogy for why women should be comfortable or happy not getting married and not having children. And I say that is also a trauma response. Because I take it that the natural disposition, the natural state of affairs is that the man is attracted to the woman is attracted to the man. They like each other's company, they enjoy each other's company. Then they make some babies, right? And they stick together. They don't violate each other. You protect me, I protect you. We do this thing till the end of time, right? That's the natural state of affairs. Anything other than that, I take it to be a perversion, and I do take it to be a response to trauma or a broken, wayward ideology, right? But then I take it that ideology is built in trauma. So it could have been you experienced the trauma yourself, or you got the ideology of somebody who went through trauma, a trauma ideology. And those are the two ways that I think that this type of perversion, inserts itself into our society, and we should be mindful of it and fight against it. Fight against the whole culture, fight against the manly women, I think the traditional woman should rear her beautiful head and, start speaking up on behalf of women and stop letting the hoes speak up on behalf of women. Thank you. Have a nice day.
You're 100% correct, Congressman.
So.
And I think like a lot of people gonna let
Check, brother.
Listen, I'm gonna send this nigga down. Please do not bring him back up for at least 5 minutes.
Hold on, let me. See, that's police action. Let a social worker do it, bro. Someone you want to shoot and I want to talk. Check.
Nah, he needs to be shot, nigga. What the fuck? He's a foreigner.
He's fucking dangerous.
You want his ass? Okay, so look, fuck, there's a lot of it, but I want to first start off with since this feedback Friday, giving a critique, and it's unfortunate that King Nani isn't here, but the critique isn't just for her. I just want to point out that, like, there's this weird thing that, like, happens in these rooms where we're socialized to believe that, like, women are better listeners in some capacities, but won't even listen sometimes. Such that, like, you guys are responding to like, so far, it feels like you guys are responding to micro points as opposed to like the overarching argument that I'm making, and you're giving pushback in like the weirdest way. Because like Bima, what you said just now was kind of, it's not that I disagree with it. There's a lot of things there that I agree with, but like I'm just so confused as to what you actually disagree with. Because it seemed like you ended up like reiterating some of the points that I'd made before. It turns out that like if we let you speak long enough, you get passionate enough and like completely undo the work that you were trying to do in the first place when you were trying to disagree. Right? Everything you said, I'm 1000% with you on, right? Like, I'm just pointing out that, like, there's some phenomenological issues that you guys aren't acknowledging when Nathan says the things that he's saying. Like, Nathan's pointing out ultimately that, like, a lot of you who think you're women, you're not women. You're little girls pretending to be men, playing at adulthood via a masculine frame. You're not actually women. You're little girls who have been co-opted, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally captured by the archetype that emulates masculinity. Right? That's the point that Nathan was making. That's the point that I came on the back of to add to, and defend. Right? And it seems like you actually fundamentally agree. You just said that you were sold a lie. What was the lie? That we're the same. Some of y'all genuinely believe that because we do the same jobs that we're the same. That's why I brought up the Venus and Serena thing. That woman, that anchor woman who tried to check the guy who called Serena the best female tennis player, she was 50-something years old. She should know better, right? She should know better than to like say some stupid shit like that. She genuinely thinks that because she's been working alongside men for so long that like Serena Williams is going to be as good as a male tennis player. Like, that's sad that you think that. Like, it's sad that you think that we have to necessarily, like, just because we sometimes compete, that we have to necessarily view each other the same. I'll admit as a man that the patriarchy didn't do a good enough job of being equitable towards women and appreciating what women actually are. Are you willing to admit that you bit into the feminist bullshit and that you've been sold the lie that we are the same? Like, a lot of you women just can't admit that. Like, it really hurts your egos. It really hurts your pride. Like, you can't acknowledge that we think different, that we function different. Like, there's so many fundamental differences that, like, confers different sets of responsibilities on us and society in general. And that's going to shape us fundamentally different. And you said this interesting thing that, like women only were allowed to provide. Now, that's not true. Women have always been providers. They just provided different things, right? Agriculture as an industrial thing has been attributed to women. This idea that like women before, now we need two parents, it's bullshit. Like, women have always been providers. For the most part, most of society has always been like cooperative between men and women when it comes to like household duties and rearing of children. Most of the time, it's only the aristocracy class that like have created this weird thing where it's like there's a hard delineation between male roles and female roles. But even in the house, like if the men were home, they helped take care of some of the children. When they weren't home, it was predominantly the women. But like when they were home, when the women were home, it turns out that the women also had to do additional things to provide for the household. This idea that like historically, most people could survive with like a one income, it's like, it's not true. Historically, everyone did what they could for the sake of the children. They just had different like social outlets to be able to do that. That's the point that I'm making, Beamer. Like, you keep constraining this, you keep phrasing like a lot of like your rebuttals as if I'm saying that like, you know, actually, I'm not even sure exactly how you're seeing it, because at this point, like, you've agreed with me across several dimensions, but you want to pretend that you disagree for the sake of what? I don't understand. Right? Maybe you're just not listening to the point. And I understand that I'm long-winded too, so I'm gonna wrap it up by saying this. A lot of you aren't women. A lot of you are little girls pretending to be men. We're never going to be the same, and it's okay. You You should appreciate what femininity fundamentally is, and you should lean into it a lot more, right? A lot of you try to play the same type of ego games that men do, and then you wonder why you lose the empathy. Men are not designed to empathize with like the cocky and the arrogant. We're not designed for that, right? We're not designed to empathize with those who we're competing with. Just remember that. So if you want to play male games, understand that you're going to lose a lot of empathy. Everyone says, where did chivalry go? Why don't men respect women the way they used to? Because we can't empathize with you the way we used to. You want to be competitors? Congratulations, you're going to be treated as a competitor. And then when it gets uncomfortable and you cry victim, guess what? That's where a lot of the resent is going to come from. You wonder where male aggression comes from? It comes from people who play weak after pretending that they could play on the same level. Don't roll with the big dogs if you piss like a puppy.
That's why there's the girls.
All right, so we have a Nathan is next, and then I'm after Nathan.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I just want to say this to Sister Carolyn. No, listen, you got to remember that social media is its own art. That's its own medium of art. When you see people do that, spread artists there, say their message. And that was propaganda. Telling you that, hey, or making you feel like kids aren't working. Unfortunate that I don't even think she did it. I only think she did it for money. That's how I look at it when people do shit like that on social media. And I'm trying to send a message, they're not trying, they're trying to do it for money. But look, I wanted to say this too to my boy Concrete. Never, I didn't even think I would see it. But you let Beamer get you, bro. You was the one who warned me. Don't let the what's that femininity control you, bro. Literally, Beamer came swinging. She swung at my boy Huey. She said, I'm just going to say this. Jinx was right. That's the reason why this woman up to call that work field and everything like that. And then after she heard you, that masculine voice, you know what she said? Oh, Concrete is right. I think the only reason why she's doing that because K-Nani has mind control over Beamer. When K-Nani here, Beamer be like, yeah, you're right, girl. And when Nani leave, she be like, no, Concrete, you're right, you actually right. But look, at the end of the day, I agree with both Concrete and my boy Huey. And yeah, man, the females out there, doesn't mean just some raggedy ass cooch. Doesn't mean you're a woman at the end of the day. You need to put in some extra work. You too, Beamer, you know.
All right, it's my turn. So when you all were talking, for my SpongeBob fans in the room, there's an episode of SpongeBob that I could think of where SpongeBob and Patrick, they're best friends, and they were walking down the street and they saw that there was a clam, a baby clam, right, that was left unattended. And SpongeBob and Patrick decided, hey, look at the baby clam, we should adopt it, right? So they go in to adopt it. SpongeBob took the gender role of a female and Patrick took the role of a male. So while SpongeBob was at home, attending to the baby, cooking, cleaning, trying to, and they had him in hair rollers and a dress, Patrick would get dressed, go under his rock, eat, sleep, and do God knows what in his man cave. So SpongeBob was like, hey, honey, I know, you're working hard at work, but when you come home, can you please at least help me out? At least change your diaper, take out the trash, something. And Patrick would say, yeah, I got you. So every single day, he would come home and say, oh my God, I am so exhausted. I'm sorry, I'm going to do it tomorrow. SpongeBob got fed up. So one day, SpongeBob went to go spy on Patrick to see what is he really doing at quote-unquote work that has him so tired that he cannot help around in the house. So when he went to go observe Patrick, do you know what Patrick was doing? Patrick was in his fucking rock, sleep with a bunch of ice cream stains on his shirt with the TV on, drooling, right? And I bring up that episode of SpongeBob because I believe that analogy is the representation of the men in Clubhouse and in Chillism. They are not all, but the majority of the men who have women. I'm not even talking to the single men, because this ain't even for you. I'm talking to the men who, you know, are in relationships, are married. And it's not all either, because we have some good, clean married men in this room. But you know who I'm talking. You know who I'm talking to, where you want to put on the outfit of I'm a man. I've got man things to do. Wrong, beat my chest. But we can look at the priority, right, and see that people spend more hours talking about nonsense on Clubhouse than they do attending to these manneristic macho shit that they claim that they have, that the patriarchy allows them to operate in. So make it make sense. Is it Uchiwali or is it one mic? Which one is it? Because the men in this room, respectfully, spend more time running their fucking mouth than trying to raise a family, than trying to build wealth for themselves and their future family, cater to women or court women to marry them, to birth children, etc., etc., etc. All of the things that, quote unquote, defines a man, right? You have people that's jerking off in Dasani bottles, yelling with women on a walkie-talkie app, you know, calling women out their name because it justifies their, quote unquote, invisible masculinity, etc., etc. So I understand. Listen, I don't have no pushback against women, right, pretending to be little or pretending to like adopt male roles. I agree. There are a lot of masculine, quote unquote, women, and there should be. There should be, and I don't see a reason why. Because guess what? If there can be masculine women, then there's bitch ass niggas. We have to talk about the entire spectrum. There are a bunch of men who are actually little boys pretending to put on little girl dresses and play with Barbie dolls, too. If we're going to call a spade a spade. And I wanted to end my submission by saying this, right? While, according to y'all patriarchy, when y'all big daddy, you know, white supremacy, big daddy white supremacy, told y'all niggas to go out and fight for this country. Fight for this country. It's the patriotic thing to do. Go fight. You know what happened? The men left the workforce. The workforce. So what happened? Who was supposed to work the factory jobs? The cats? The dogs? The roaches? The rats? No. The women. Y'all use the women to go work these factory jobs, to do these quote unquote masculine ass fucking things, right? Because the men went and fought for the country. And all the other bitch ass men did what? Been bitch ass men. Probably was fucking getting fucked in the ass in somebody's goddamn hotel.
Not too much
right?
on Dominic.
Okay. Dominic. Okay. So, I'll land here. So when men want to fight, women work. When laws were changed, women adopted to those changes. So when the system, right, the system that tells women that women has shown time at the time they could. And that's not limiting women, right? It's called evolution, evolved. We adopted. Even in the patriarchy that the men set themselves. So
Adapted, not adopted.
All right, thank you. Adopted, great. Thank you for that, right?
I think that's just an accident, though. So I hope that's
Please don't invite them back up into my submission. I don't cut people off when they're talking, at least not intentionally. So I say this to say, right, that I'm not even giving pushback to what Huey and Nathan are saying. Yes, there are masculine ass women out here, right? Some might even attribute me to being masculine. And I wear that with a badge of honor, right? Because who is going to be the real niggas when the real niggas ain't being real niggas, okay? At the end of the day, that's how I protect myself from bitch assness until a good, clean man will put me and rest me back in my femininity. And that goes for the same for the other women who respect good, clean, masculine men. And I'll land here. Bima, with all due respect, my love, I said this yesterday, and I'm going to say it again. Never take advice from people who you would never swap lives with. The fact that you take any sort of advice from somebody like Concrete, who's not married, doesn't have children, who spent 5 years fucking sipping caramel macchiatos at Starbucks, pretending to have clients, right? And the only client that he has is annoying the fuck out of people on a walkie-talkie app. Ma'am, if you're gonna be a pick-misha, be a pick-misha for somebody else, not him. That's all. Thank you.
Yeah, so I called. You called after?
Okay, yeah. No.
I put it in the chat.
I was double checking the okay. So, then who's after you?
I didn't think anybody said that.
Me.
I'll put it in the chat. Yeah, so Carolyn moved me after she lied and said she doesn't cut anyone off. She cut me off when she tried to correct me on the word, and I had to correct her while I was still speaking. And then she just misused the word again, or didn't use the correct word. Yeah, misused the word adopt, and it's adapt. And yeah, so I corrected her. She got upset and moved me. And now she wants to attack Abima for agreeing with me. And this is the masculine behavior that is, well, she demonstrated it not in that, but in other ways. Obviously, she's a domineering control freak. I've known that for quite a long time. And that is very repulsive to any normal human being. But it's all absolutely, I think she said it protects her while she waits for that good, clean man. But obviously, good, clean men are repulsed by said behavior. So it's like you're working against yourself. And I'll tell you you're working against yourself. Other people will tell you you're working against yourself, and you'll continue to work against yourself because it has become your operating system. You don't know how to update it. You're scared to update it, even if you did know how to update it. And then you don't have the discipline to keep it updated when you have to actually deal with reality and not this like fantasy that you've created, right? Because if the fantasy was correct, I think things would be different, right? That's the nicest way I can say it. If the fantasy was correct and you were correct in your fantasy, things would be different. I don't have to say how they would be different, but they'd just be different. You'd be happy. You'd be in that femininity. You'd be, yeah, we can leave it there. You can leave the rest of your imaginations. And I just take this to be a trauma response. And that's the thing. When you've been traumatized, I think it's the devil, right? In a lot of ways, if not in all ways. I think it's the devil. And the devil is trying to get you to change directions, change behaviors, which is why when you see a certain type of woman gets traumatized or even a certain type of man, they get, either dependent on drugs. There's this thing where promiscuity seems to arise, on and on and on. And I take it that those are all trauma responses in the less healthy form. Obviously, you got more healthy trauma responses where you can learn those lessons and you can understand the complexities of life. And then you can advocate and help others avoid similar traumas, right? I think that would be the most healthy response to trauma, is that it makes you aware, right? Because a lot of times what happens is you just didn't know. And so that would be no fault of your own. And it's just a consequence of life, consequence of living. And so what ends up happening is you become aware, and then now you can do about it in either a positive or a negative way. And I take it the most positive way is to help others avoid similar fates. which is why I think it's a good thing to tell you to stop being masculine, stop being a control freak, because real men don't like being controlled. It's just not a thing that men like. But you're going to continue trying to be a control freak. I don't even think fake men like being controlled, right? I think fake men will allow it, thinking that there's going to be a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. But I don't think any man, real or fake, likes being controlled. And you are a control freak. And therefore, your outcomes, I think, are not going to be good. Now, you could decide to stop being a control freak, but I don't think you will. I think you're going to continue to be a control freak. And I think you're going to continue to get the results you've been getting. And that's unfortunate, because no matter how much we disagree, we definitely can benefit each other in terms of wisdom, experience, ideas. And to have the silly idea that you can't get advice from somebody you wouldn't want to trade your life with is just not smart. It's just not smart. And the idea that you think that's smart is unfortunate, because we obviously understand you can learn things from people of all walks of life and all experiences. So I don't know what's going on, but good luck to you. Bima, continue to do the work. See, Bima's doing the work. Bima has acknowledged her failings as, you know, it's an adult thing to do.
You should have stopped right there. You should have stopped right there.
No. I gotta give Bima her props, because Bima was being torn down.
Yeah, but you also said it in olive branch, and now that's like it sounded like a backhanded compliment. Stop.
To Bima?
No. You hear what you just said? It was literally perfect. Not only that, you also extended an olive branch.
Oh, yeah. No. But I still gotta give Bima her props.
It'll be a backhanded.
No. This goes to
Performative, Matt. It's all performative.
She doesn't interrupt people. Remember she said that? All right, cool. So, so she's gonna move people down when she gets interrupted, obviously, right? Anyway, so the issue is, no, man, I gotta give Bima her props. Bima has done the work. Bima has shown the courage to say where she went wrong, even voice her regrets, and hopefully she can still have a better outcome with this new understanding. I pray for Bima to have all the things that she wants in this world, especially since she's acknowledged her failings, and hopefully she's working towards those fruitful goals, those fruitful ends, right? I don't know how to turn it back into comment anyway. But yeah, Bima, shouts out to you doing the work. And I also want to say something about another woman that's hated in this room, Sugar Belly. Sugar Belly's not perfect. We all got our beef with Sugar Belly. But there is this thing where they hate Sugar Belly. And Sugar Belly don't attack none of these women. But I think it's something about her and her competency that fucks them up. And I think that's another thing that why they envy men is because of our competency. And when they see a woman with that competency who is given respect for her intellect and not, just ogled after because of her body or her sexuality or her mind, I think that fucks with them. They want to be respected for their minds, but they're always leading with their titties. And so, Bima, good job. Keep up the good work. God bless you. I hope everything works out. And stop being a man. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thanks, Concrete. I appreciate it. The room dynamics are hilarious. You guys, I love you guys. I wanted to say first to Concrete, actually, that one thing that you said was very sweet, and I appreciate that. And I really took that as genuine, not performative, so I hope that's the truth. If not, that's fine. Just
you know I got you, Bima. Come on now. You ain't got to stop.
Well, what I wanted to say, though, was first, on the Concrete thing, there's a difference between advice and then just observations. So I didn't take any advice from Concrete. I was just listening to what he was saying, and I was assessing and finding value and truth in the stuff that he was saying. And that's all that was to that. Yui, when you were talking, I apologize. Maybe we were missing each other because when I had first started my submission, you were Xing and eye rolling when I was saying things. So then when I gave my next submission, I tried to remember those moments when you X and eye rolled. So I was trying to respond to those specific things when you had done that. So if we were missing each other, I apologize. Ultimately, I also because I wrote some notes, Yui. There's a difference, okay, and I feel bad saying it, but I think we're adults. We're adults, okay, so we could be honest with each other. I feel that the way that we talk about certain particular issues, but gender and gender, sometimes they're more uplifting, and like sometimes they're not, and when they're not, you could kind of sort of tell the scarcity that the person is coming from, or maybe the projection or something else, right? Or maybe not, maybe it's just the best way that they can articulate it at the moment. For example, a comment was made, you're not actually women. I think that that's just, like that type of comment, you can't really take it seriously. There's nothing to do with that, because obviously women are women. Women that are born are women. So what do you mean? Like, don't be intellectually lazy. Get into it. Like, say specifically what you're referring to. Are you referring to the traditional mother, Jungian archetype, right? Because we can argue that, and I think that's mostly what I was arguing, and that's what I was trying to respond to, is because of the way that our economy, listen, and this is something else, we're in it together. You men and us women, we're in it together. I'm not trying to point fingers. I'm trying to say, we're going through something right now. There's our dynamic, our interpersonal, interrelational, our relationship, romantic dynamics, and then there is our society dynamics, right? And we're just trying to work through that. So the psychology of, we have this economy that's, I think, this is my personal opinion, it's changing so significantly, and it's created, even through legislation, right? You see that shift even from the 1960s to the 1980s, when, after the civil rights, after women's rights, right, all of these things, you see this large influx in what? In specifically female secondary education, college, right? So now women are being more educated, on top of, great timing, because now we also need you to split the traditional role of provider. You're going to have to work as well, right? I don't think that most women, and I looked up the statistics because I just wanted to be sure. It was from the Bureau of, it was from the Bureau of, it was a government one, but it didn't say specifically, what it said was, mothers with children under 18. That was the stat, and it's mothers with children under 18 work. They're influenced, whether they work in the fucking labor force, and we see 5%, right? Something of 5% or less in the early 1900s. Up until now, it's been a steady 70 to 75% for the past 5 years. 70 to 75% of that. That's a huge shift. So they also talk about the psychological shift of this. Women are becoming more educated, but now we're also splitting these gender roles. And that was ultimately what I was, and I'll end here, ultimately what I was talking about when Concrete was mentioning all of those awesome things that I think are absolutely on point with psychology, which is, there has been a shift, a societal realignment, right? You have men, you have single income, male breadwinning households, to now dual income, role sharing, right? At least, economically households. And there is going to be a psychological adaptation in a woman's mind and men's mind. And yeah, women are being, and that's perfect too. He said it again, and I'm sorry I said I would end here, but I will end here. He had said it. You had been lied to. Yes, feminism, first, second, third wave, we were pushed. Go to college. What you see, super increase of college, super increase of women college, super increase of, jobs and whatever. And yeah, women have been fucked. So men, be patient with us. We want to be patient with you. We want to get back. We want to stabilize. We have to stabilize our economy first, though, right? I don't know.
I guess I was gonna say it's your time.
Okay, I'm a little confused. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I'm a little confused on what the argument is at this point. Are we arguing gender roles have changed because of manipulation to our characteristics within like culture or the economy? So I feel like the economy plays a more bigger role in how gender roles work than any other type of manipulation with our culture. Because I don't believe that one person in a household nowadays can work and provide for 3 children, a wife with their it's very hard nowadays to do that unless you have certain degrees, certain businesses. So I feel like we have to put that into a role that in this economy, bro, people gotta work. Both people gotta work sometimes, and that's okay. I feel like when we start judging these celebrity couples and these marriages, we have no idea what the fuck is going on with Aisha Curry. God, right? We have no idea what's going on with their marriage, with their relationship. We have no right to make assumptions or judge on if she's treating her, if he's treating her bad, and just say like, oh, she wants attention, she's jealous. Like, that's the great. What do you know about their marriage, bro? Like, we really talk about shit that we think we're all a fly on the wall, so we must know everything, and therefore we just and therefore we associate these marriages, these couples that we see online, by the way, through the online chaotic sphere of just misinformation and lies, and we base majority of women and men off of these things, and that's why I feel like it's becoming a disease that we cannot use logic and we cannot use common sense when it comes to generalizing relationships and how people act. So that's all I had to say. Concrete, I love you. Thank you. Like that.
All right. Yeah, I actually, you kind of took the words out of my mouth pockets. Where like, just the initial, I put that I'm in the queue concrete. I don't know if you saw it or not, but I already added myself to the queue. I'm gonna mute you, okay?
I called about pockets. Was that after I called for pockets?
Yeah, but there was a queue in the chat still.
There's a queue in the chat, and I put it there. Concrete, I put in the chat that I am after pockets. This is way before you came off mic. All right, so yeah, I was actually gonna echo what you said on pockets, and I think with all right. I think what kind of like started this whole like fucking fall of man in recent times are like your Fresh and Fits, your Kevin Samuels, and like these fucking weirdos who never had a voice before. They pick up these same talking points and rhetorics to basically push their hatred towards the opposite sex, right? Or to distract them from their own inward self-hate of themselves and why they have not been able to, as a man, right, and their own man privilege, not have been able to benefit or reap the benefits, rather, of the patriarch that was set up for them to succeed, right? I think that in these conversations, right, because it started off with Aisha Curry, then it kind of derailed into talking specifically about the women in chillism. The same sentiments of how somebody came from the outside looking in on a celebrity to say, oh, well, you know, Aisha's taking advice from the hoes, and she needs to stop worrying about trying to be a hoe, and instead she needs to, you know, focus on being a good, clean wife. This goes to my point. Now I'm gonna land here because I actually have a meeting I gotta go to because I'm a modern working woman. I think that as people, right, because sometimes we like to buy into identity politics, I push individualism. I know that's liberal, but I am liberal on this point, that we should allow people to be individuals and not put labels to oppress and constrain them of how they express themselves. Now, I did agree with Huey earlier with certain talking points, but I will have to agree with Nani. We are not bound as women and men to whether or not we are quote unquote feminine and masculine, which are social constructs, what it means to be a woman, what means to be a man. Also, it's different from the West than it is from the East, right? We can see plenty matriarchs, patriarchs, where both men and women have both masculine and feminine qualities, right? So I think this whole ideology around, oh, well, if you're assertive or if you're aggressive or if you fight back or if you don't, let fucking bitch ass niggas, talk to you in a type of way because they look at you in a certain way, right? That's just you as a human taking up for yourself. I think to like kind of minimize it to, well, stay in a woman's place or even when the women be like, oh, you a bitch ass nigga, right? I think that those are like social constructs that try to, put power onto the other person or try to ridicule the other person. But there's no real uh, science behind that right now. Obviously, we're talking about biology and all in here. Yes, we talked about this a couple weeks ago about how and why men perform in a certain way, right? Like why they're more competitive, right? Why they're more, you know, assertive or like to get leadership roles, right? It does have to do with your hormones. Sure, great, whatever. But at the end of the day, if a woman is assertive or if she is, showing aggression, that is human qualities. That is not only for men. Or if you want to be soft and rest in your femininity and act like a bitch, that's not only exclusive to women. You're allowed to cry. You're allowed to be a bitch. We see it happen all the time in this room. Bitch ass shit, right? So again, I think we should kind of, when we talk about these conversations and roles and social constructs, I think we need to be a little bit more fluid, especially when we can see in real time men acting like bitch ass niggas and women acting like motherfucking, I don't know, what would be equivalent to a bitch ass nigga? Uh, fucking transgender. I don't fucking know. I don't.
I don't think Evergreen can come up because he was moved so many times. I don't know.
No, he's right there.
It's okay.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. It's okay. That weird person, that's her only way of feeling power. I wish she would feel power at her job. The focus on her job is what it is. You gotta roll with the punches. Anyway, Pockets. We do know because she's telling us about what's going on in their marriage. I understand why that is so. Is it just confused? Yeah, she told us that she's jealous. Yeah, she told us. She said she doesn't get as much attention as fucking. Yeah, she said it. Is that okay? Any other questions?
I mean, what did that make you when you started first
She
entering
said
the room?
she said that he wasn't. I didn't hear this firsthand, but I think she said that. I think she said she didn't think he was gonna be anything, and I think she also said that he's not her type. So, what do you want us to ignore her talking about her marriage? Anyway, Pockets, listen. This is unfortunately
You should curse.
encouragement. I heard she said that, so I can't say I heard it firsthand, but I did hear repeatedly that she said she doesn't get as much attention as him. She didn't think that he was going to be anything besides football coach or trainer or something like that, and he's not initially her type or some shit like that. So
Man's a top 5 of all time.
That's crazy. It's crazy. That's when you fumbled you could have fumbled the bag, but you didn't. You should thank yourself. But then you come out and embarrass the man after being a stand-up guy, not getting into any controversy, and you wanna
Oh, they might have called his order. Did anybody want to grab?
Don't you gotta go to work, weirdo? Don't you gotta get ready for your meeting?
Yeah.
You are obsessed, weirdo. You want to be out in the street so bad. And that's that jealousy I'm talking about. You want to be out and so fucking bad. All you gotta do is fucking earn it. Just do it. Start your business. Fucking deal with all the stress. Fucking. You can have my life. You just gotta do what I did.
I can do what you do right now. I can have my meeting in Starbucks right now. I can actually
So I'm just wondering though,
get in my car and drive to Starbucks and pop open my laptop and my fucking phone.
I'm just wondering why.
Do it.
Right now.
Do it. Stop being jealous.
Why
Instead of
is
having to whisper in your fucking office. Or your
Why is he still with her then, Concrete? Why is he still married with her?
It's the Aisha Curry stuff. That's what stemmed this whole thing.
Somewhat, yeah.
I don't see why it has to be a gender war. Why we can't isolate this particular woman and say she's grossly underappreciative, and I guess maybe jaded by the fact that
Nathan brought up specific women in this room, so that's why it kind of like derailed.
I don't even think the conversation needs to go that way.
Don't do that. Don't do that, Carolyn. I deliberately said I did not bring up. I didn't mention any woman's name.
No. I didn't say you brought up anybody's name. Go ahead, Louis.
If she said what Concrete said about Curry, then I feel like she said stuff like this before.
She has.
Then the conversation, I think then was like, yo, she's kind of like embarrassing him or whatever. Then I heard things floated about they might have some sort of like open agreement, some Will and Jada type shit going on where it's like whatever, like she could do her thing, he does his thing. I've never heard of that. I always thought they were like Christian devout family. That's what I've always thought. But yeah, it is kind of, like you kind of like, it's like Melania Trump going out there and like talking shit up on Trump. It's just like, it looks strange. It's just, the optics of it is off. It comes off as like unappreciative, like Melania Trump saying like, oh, like everyone knows Trump and not me. It's like, yeah, that's Donald Trump. He's the leader of the free world. The same thing is like, everyone pays more attention to Steph and not, the man revolutionized the game of basketball. I don't know what to tell you, miss. He's a big deal. He's a really big deal. Like people are gonna like, and sometimes I feel like even on like the guy side, like let's say Nicki Minaj and her husband, I think sometimes it's hard for people when you're with someone who's like an icon, like literally someone who's revolutionized whatever their field is. Sometimes that could get like, you have to be mentally strong to like be with someone like that, man or woman. I feel like, because I don't know, like silly, like you could find yourself getting jealous, and that would be ridiculous, because like the person you're with like deserves every bit of like the recognition, fame, accolades that he gets. There's no reason to feel bad. Just be proud that like that's your guy. I thought that was like the whole thing. That was the goal, like to get the guy. That's the dude. Like Steph Curry is the quote unquote high value man. It's Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying? So it seems off. It seems off-putting, and the optics are weird. It's just weird. It must be something's going on at home, and this is how she's like, taking it out. I don't know what it is, but everything is cool at home. I don't understand why this topic keeps coming on, or she always gets on an interview and like talks about how like she's jealous of stuff.
Because it's probably resentment. It's a natural feeling, human emotion to be resentful sometimes. Especially when people feel like they give up something for somebody else, and yet they feel like they're not enjoying the same benefit. It's like the what if kind of moment, and I think that's what she's having. And this feeling of value, they're just not valid to show the whole world and disparage your partner in that manner. And I think this is what I'm
Right.
If you said this in a therapy session, that's why you're in a therapy session. You know what I mean? If you want to sit with a therapist and talk about how you're feeling because you you feel like your partner is getting a lot of love. And we're talking someone who's extremely famous, that women fawn over and to in the stadium and to see this. And, you know, women being the attention seeker that they are, of course they are envious of that, you know what I mean? But I think, you know, there's a way you need to conduct yourself, especially when people are looking at you. And young people also looking at you, they see you and they see your behavior, and then they might mimic that behavior, which is a detrimental behavior. We don't see, Magic Johnson's wife doesn't do this. Michael Jordan divorces.
And Steph Curry's better than Magic Johnson.
Yeah, like you didn't see this the older women didn't do that, right? And I'm not saying, and like I said, it's the resentment part. There's like other little thing. For instance, you will see her and they will talk about Steph and she will smirk on the corner of her mouth. That's resentment. You know what I mean? That's resentment, and shit like that kill marriages. We may not see it today or tomorrow, but we're gonna see it. It's gonna show because those things fester. Unless, like, we don't know, maybe they are in therapy and maybe they will work it out, and I hope they do for the sake of their children and themselves. But yeah, the lady has severe resentment toward the husband, which is sad.
No, but Matt, why do you think these are valid feelings?
No, because people have feelings, and your feelings are always valid because that's how you feel, and that's why you need to go to therapy and work them out. You can't suppress your feelings. When you suppress your feeling, that's what causes the resentment, right? Because she has suppressed the way she felt for a minute, and that's why she feels the way she feels. She hasn't dealt with it yet. She hasn't dealt with the fact that she wanted to be a movie star and she's not a movie star. She needs to deal with that.
But there was this one comment particularly where she's like that Kake said she only thought he would be like a coach or something, and like she didn't even really fuck with him like that. That's like, I don't know, that's kind of nasty to me. That's like, yo, like what?
Well, yeah, for sure.
Louis, you know what's nasty? Louis, you know what's nasty? You saying Steph is better than Magic. I'm not gonna let that slide now.
That's crazy.
I'm not gonna let that slide now.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna let y'all have your conversation.
Yes, I'm sorry.
We gotta have that debate later, bro. Yeah. It's a reasonable debate.
He's the best point guard to live. So anyway,
you gotta give it to Steph.
Louis, Steph Curry better than Kobe.
Yes, he is.
Get the fuck out of here. Hell no. This is no.
If we get back to the competition, but I think one of the issues is I think they were not on even keel when they met, right? And I think she probably was higher than him socially, and the role switched, and now she's at the bottom rank, and she doesn't know how to handle it.
Yo, Matt, that's a fact. That's a fact, Matt.
Problem I have, Matt, is calling this feeling valid. It's almost like saying, wait, hold on. The way we use it is going to be rational and irrational. So the reason why it would be an irrational or fears are considered rational or irrational. If you're afraid of, like, cracks in the floor, sitting there with fear. Similarly, I think we can have irrational emotions and irrational resentments. There's nothing stopping her, a actress, besides herself. There's nothing stopping her. It's not like this woman had to do two jobs so Steph could do his job, right? It's never been that way for him or her. So there was no step actually had to make. Everything is just she doesn't like. Anything she wanted to do education-wise, professionally, and entrepreneurially, shout out to the entrepreneurs, she can do it. Shout out to the professionals. She can do it, right? So there is no reason for resentment, which is why I don't think it's a valid emotion.
Yeah,
but it is an emotion.
Before I pass it to you. So emotions are valid, and they also can be irrational. And that's why you have to go to therapy to work it the fuck out. That's what she needs to do. Stop going to these fucking shows and go to therapy and work that shit out.
You know, I had to give the context, Matt, that both of them come from very strong faith-based families. And I think they got married and had her first kid right away, like when she was really, really, really young. And so in her conversation, I didn't sense resentment. I just think that she's finally getting into her bag. Like, she opened a restaurant, she's written books, she's now getting into that spot. But what I didn't like about her interview and what I honestly find irritating about her in general is that she speaks like she's the average woman who has these feelings and wants to, like, have an opinion. And I wish that, I hate to say this, I wish she would stick to just cooking and doing her restaurants and having commentary about that.
Told that woman to get in the kitchen.
Get in the kitchen, because you know why, Louis? I read it as very tone deaf. Like, most women don't have the access to nannies so that you can go to a Drake concert in another country on a private plane. So it's like, boo-hoo woo, you know? Like, you're in the 1%. You're not the average woman who does maybe have to put aside her career aspirations or her life aspirations in order to take care of the children that she does want. I don't think that she resents him or everybody else.
Is she in the Matrix? Nah, bruh, she's in the Matrix.
Yo,
Talk
does
about
anyone?
being a woman and a mother,
Yo,
and it's
King,
really
you
boring. And
you broke
am I
up.
still in the Matrix?
You're breaking up, King.
Am I in the
Yeah,
Matrix?
you're in the Matrix.
I'll just be real quick.
You just
Louis.
came back,
I'll
you're
be-
good.
Still?
You're good.
Okay, no, I just want to say that I find her to be annoying.
That's a fair assessment. And like, I think my bad. Was there a cue? Was somebody going next? I don't want to step on nobody.
Nah, gang, it's popcorn.
Can I go after you, Orion?
No, it's
Go for
popcorn.
it, yeah, man.
Let's stop shouting. We're gonna go next. Let's
Yeah,
have
just
a normal
find
conversation.
your
Like,
spot.
Mr. Finley's talking.
Yeah, I mean, I know
Mr. Finley talking about
Y'all
that.
some bum ass nigga.
I feel like, and I think Nani, I ultimately can see where you're coming from. I wouldn't fault her at all, though, because, like, for her to even be in the same circle as Steph Curry, she had to be an ambitious young woman building a life for herself, right? It's like, because I know people that have achieved
That's
way
not
more
how they
success.
met. They were babies. They were like.
Shut up, black ass. Let that man talk.
Well, maybe I don't know. Like,
Just let him finish, please. Just let him finish. Go ahead, brother. Do your thing, dog.
if it's the case that, like, she knew him from before anybody was shit, that's fine. But all I'm saying is I can respect a person saying, I viewed my life this way. I kind of fell in love with this person and we started a family, and it's kind of been interesting and challenging for me to navigate the difference between what I wanted to do and the way that my life became, right? Like, if that's all that she's saying, that's fine. You know what I mean? I don't know. But then I can understand you too. Like, why the fuck are you crying crocodile tears because the nanny came at 5:02 instead of 5 o'clock? You know what I mean? Like, why are you crying? You had to wait until Thursday to fly out to see Drake in Copenhagen instead of fucking, like, you know what I mean? Like your complaints are not even inconveniences to the normal person. Like, your complaints are fucking opportunities that the average person would fucking do a fucking their own husband to have the opportunity to do. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, what is your laundry list of complaints, Aisha Curry? Like, I can understand that. Fuck it though, mate. I don't know. I done killed the room.
Thank you for that, Orion. And look, it's to piggyback off of that. Listen, I'm surprised, right? And I gotta defend a real woman because these little girls don't understand how difficult it is of a job to conceive a child. Aisha Curry, I think that's her name, but Mrs. Curry, she's a real woman. She pushed some beautiful children out there. And you know what happens? And these girls want to know what it is. These females want to know what it is. Postpartum depression. And you know what happens with, sometimes? Resentment. You know, a difference in the mood. The appetite is different as well, too. And sometimes they resent having kids or being like being the wife that they always wanted to be. And that's what we see. We're seeing a woman of light-skinned caliber that's not on the bottom having to work for anything like that. That has a man who makes 6 figures to support him. And all we see is resentment because she's going through depression. I was hoping that these females would recognize that, but I forgot. They're not females. Sorry, they're not women. They are females. Sorry, they are females. They're not women. Sorry, they're not women. They're just little girls playing the game. Like, for the women in here, they know that. And for the men in here who are married to women, they know too how it is after a woman gave birth. And that husband to accept that, you know what, you're going to have to be a mother for the rest of your life. And that's a great experience, but the realization kicks in. It just doesn't happen instantly like that. And that's all we saying. We just seeing the process, man.
Yo, what's good? Yo, what's good, Nate?
Yo, Mr. Finley. What's up, Mr. Finley? What's good, my brother?
What's good, King Nanny? Yeah, you hit it on the nose. Yeah, she's just being light-skinned and ungrateful for the world.
Oh, all right. You light skinned too, huh?
They want to hate on me because I'm light-skinned. Now they want to fucking...
For the record, knowledge say he wants to go after Nathan, but you know, I let Mr. Finley go because
You're a gentleman.
I'm not your knowledge.
Because I'm being the best person. Because I'm being the best person I can be. And while we're speaking about that, please remember, be yourself. When in doubt, when angry, just let it be. In the words of Bob Marley, don't worry, be happy, and always, always believe in yourself. Because at the end of the day, when you look in the mirror, just remember that you are always, always be beautiful. And when you see someone in the street, just remember to please be kind. And when you're thinking about becoming that person, just think to be or not to be. But be the change you want in the world. Thank you.
Wake it up. That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
A high-valued married man.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. So I looked up Aisha Curry and Steph Curry when they met. It says they met in 2003, but they didn't start dating till 2009. Met in 2003, but didn't start dating in 2009. Does anybody want to know what Steph Curry was doing in 2009?
What the fuck was he doing?
Wasn't he at Davidson?
He got drafted. Was playing in the NBA.
He got drafted in 2009. Okay, that's the type. Okay.
NBA. So what we can now figure out based on the timeline of the assassination, that she met him 6 years before he got in the NBA, but didn't start dating him until he got to the NBA.
Wait, who always loved her? That's so corny.
Aisha Curry.
Always loved her.
Aisha Curry.
That's
a little crazy. She is a beautiful. I don't know if she's black or black skin or Mexican, whatever. She's a beautiful black woman. And so guess what? It was probably very easy for her to get that nigga to commit. So there was no effort applied. And then she got all that she wanted from that arrangement. And now she realized she don't want what she got. Fuck, man. And that nigga, does he know it? He has to know it by now, right? If he doesn't know it, if he didn't know it then and thought it was gonna be cool and it could work out, he knows now it is what it is. And it's sad, bro. That's fucking crazy, bro. That's devastating. And she does need therapy. I don't know if she's depressed. I think she is just light-skinned, as somebody, as they mentioned. I don't think it's depression. I think it was an easy conquest, and now she's looking for some hoes. Or she's looking to do something else. She's looking for another conquest. She's letting everybody know.
Correction on the timeline. It's my turn. I called great earlier. Hello? Can we? They met when they were teenagers, sir. Not when they were.
He said started dating.
Yeah, they met when they were
he said
teenagers.
Started dating.
Yeah, they met when they were teenagers. They didn't start dating until told you that was an age. Just point of correction. Sorry.
That's exactly what
That's
I
what he
said.
said. That's what he said. That's exactly what he said.
Yeah, okay.
They met.
Can you repeat it?
That's what he said. He said they met. Go ahead.
I feel like this, like he liked her.
No, they reconnected.
He wanted
I think
her.
the religious upbringing might be a problem too, because religious girls tend to be a little bit, I don't know.
Suppressed.
Say it.
Just say it's suppressed, man.
You know what I mean? So
Suppressed,
like,
man.
now that she never got to go through dating boys and being chased, blah blah blah.
Being a hoe. She wants her hoe stage.
And she has friends now who have gone through this thing. She's hearing stories, and that's the fantasy. Women always have this weird ass fucking fantasy of some shit that's never gonna happen in their head, and she takes, that Stephen Curry stopped her from having that fantasy that she was never gonna have anyway. You know what I mean? And that's the resentment part.
That's
BBD, brother.
I wanted to point out the evidence concrete, the light skin evidence, right? Because there's another famous light skinned woman that's very ungrateful and very disrespectful to her husband, Jada. Jada is also light skinned. Also light skinned. And I'm gonna land it here. The great Sir Kevin Samuels.
Concrete though. My bad, Finley. I was just getting after concrete.
It's all good. It's all good.
I'll go after Donnie. If that's cool then.
The great Sir Kevin Samuels said, "If you give a woman the world, she's gonna want the universe."
The great Kevin
That's
Samuels.
crazy. I'm after Orion or Nate, whoever's after Orion.
You're supposed to be after me, sir.
You good, Nani? Go ahead.
I want to clarify that I really enjoy when men talk about celebrities. This is such a fun conversation because it feels
Wait,
like.
didn't she use her turn to clarify the
Excuse me,
record?
sir. Excuse me.
Didn't you
No,
use your
I
turn
called
to clarify
again.
the record?
I called again. Let me just
Did
finish.
anybody hear her call again?
Yes, I did.
though. I'm gonna be real
You
with
have a
you,
large
dog.
mic. I can't hear past your loud mic. I don't know. Anyway.
No, but everybody in here
I'll be
retarded.
really quick.
Concrete's just checking.
No, I just feel real quick that I enjoy all of you men and your opinions on celebrities and all the conjecture of what happened, what could have happened. I feel like I'm in the salon with all of you, and this is super.
Okay. We didn't.
I'll be fast. I just want to say this. No, I'll be fast. I just want to say this for Mr. Finley and the concrete. No, it's not the women. It's actually the males. Will Smith, light skin. Patrick Mahomes, light skin. Steph Curry, light skin. Just saying, these light skinned niggas need to be humiliated for some.
Waking up. As a light skin, as a fellow light skin, I have to say, God damn, what do we? You know what I mean? No, but Con, you bring an interesting point though, because for Steph Curry to if you get with somebody that you knew since you was in high school, there was always a there. In many cases, right? So it's there was in Steph Curry's mind, from the time he was a teenager, there was kind of always a there. He kind of always could see himself with her, and then when they grew up, he's like, oh shit, yeah, let's do that. Now, the interesting thing about it on the flip side is, what did she do to make herself qualify other than being a normal person? Nothing. Right? Unless she, is this, billionaire, millionaire, track star, right? He just wants her for who she is. Right? And he's I've known you since we grew up. You're a cool person. I can see myself with you. That's where he's coming from. She's coming from, damn, I didn't really want this. What the fuck is this? You know what I mean? I can understand people looking at it he's not getting shit from you and he loves you forever. And you're you just married the King of England and you're explaining your regrets. I don't know. I can see both sides of it. Maybe I'm just high. I'm not even high though.
Oh, wow.
Well, the thing is,
I'm not even high now, nigga. Fuck, damn.
Alright, is it safe to say she made a calculated decision?
I wouldn't necessarily say it's safe to say that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
She might have
actually Go ahead. What are you saying?
Wait. So again, it's 2003. They started dating in 2009. So I mean, to figure out if he was date worthy. You think he didn't want to date her in those 6 years?
I mean,
he didn't want to date her?
I mean, like, obviously, like, he's the type of dude that's like, if the world was mine, I would choose you, Aisha. Right? Like if he could have any woman in the world, I would choose you. So
he was
in the Matrix.
Oh yeah, dude. I think you're in the Matrix, but like to your point though, yeah. Like Steph Curry was like, bro, like imagine if you with your homies and he's like, man, if I ever win the lottery and got all the money in the world, I'm gonna date the chick from 6th period. Like what? But that's what he did, right? Like he got all the money in the world and got with Aisha. So it's like, of course he already thought
Aisha. That's probably why you got back.
You know what I'm saying? Like he clearly always thought she was that.
Hey, yeah, I want y'all to pay attention.
I'm about to land. Thank you. I'm about to land. I'll go after Lion. I'll go after Lion. I got you. So, I think it's safe to say she made a calculated. Calm down, nigga. I think it's safe to say she made a calculated decision, and she should rest in that decision and take it to her fucking grave. Right now, what she wants to do, she's opening the door to. And you know what's so interesting? I saw a video where Cardi B, take it for what it's worth. She said when she, as a married woman, dudes were very respectful of the marriage. They would be very hands off. They didn't say anything to her about anything salacious. They respected the marriage. And she was talking to Shannon Sharp and somebody else. And they were like, "Yep, I think that is the way guys operate." And so that's probably what's happening in Aisha. They respect Seth. They respect her. They respect the marriage. They don't violate. You know what happens when a woman says the shit that she's been saying repeatedly in broad daylight? That's opening the door to the niggas to start shooting their shot at a higher rate. She want to see those reps go up. Whether or not she's going to take it, that's a separate issue. But she definitely want to see those reps go up. And she feels like her, she's not getting what she said. She's not getting the attention she deserves. And she's a pretty light-skinned woman. It's crazy, bro. She needs to take that to the grave.
Fine, bro. I feel like she's not even that fine, bro. Let me sit my ass down somewhere.
That's
probably
not
like
nice,
a dark skin
especially when you don't show us your face.
I'm an ugly ass bastard. I'll keep it real, but goddamn, I feel like Aisha Curry ain't that one.
Oh my God. Are you a millionaire?
I just wanted to say.
I think Abdi's on. You were going after concrete.
Lion
You're after concrete.
Yeah.
I apologize, sir.
By a certain nigga named Nathan, and then as soon as a real thoroughbred light-skinned nigga walk in the room, you see that nigga go silent, run, right? Y'all saw that?
Wait, you're light-skinned?
Nobody is on that.
Me and Lion both stand
light-skinned. Lion is the king of the
How many light-skinned niggas do we got in here? Because this explains a lot about
her.
you.
Kendall's a light-skinned. Kendall admitted
he
to being a
is
light-skinned.
loud, crazy.
Oh my God!
I saw that Kendall had. He was brown skin, bro.
Kendall was light-skinned.
I'm not light-skinned.
Kendall was light.
I'm in the Wesley Snipes delegation.
That's probably why you're so mad at all these light-skinned niggas.
I'm not mad at light-skinned niggas. The fuck?
You know those dark-skinned niggas be having resentment.
Lion, are you done?
Next.
We gotta let Lion cook, man. One time for the light-skinned brethren.
I got caught up.
And if you know anything, light-skinned women love dark men. And I've had my share of beautiful light-skinned women.
I got cut off by the unfit darkies just now. The overall point is simply this. This is really just deep-seated craft behavior from the dark niggas who wish that they had the light-skinned life. Listen, he's not really even all that talented. The reason why he can shoot at the rate that he does is because of the light-skinned genes, ladies and gentlemen. The moment you are infused with the lightedness, you are endowed with multiple powers. All you have to do is simply apply yourself. I tell it to my light
people come from dark-skinned people?
Wait. You know, we can't whip, darkies no more because of laws and shit. But we can whip you mentally.
Don't encourage him, Mick K.
I'm sorry, that was funny.
Whip you mentally, mostly, and we can show you up in every turn. And I encourage that. So, for the light-skinned people in the room, please, step on the moon cricket as soon as possible. Whenever you see one of these fuckers, just kick him in the gut.
He gonna get you buried. My mic on, Dawn.
Thank you. I just wanted to ask Mr. Finley. He quoted Kevin Samuels saying something about if you give a woman the earth, she will want the universe. However, that man died literally giving it to her.
I was low, Dawn. I was low.
Sorry,
Is it on me now?
I don't see the issue.
Yeah,
I don't see the issue.
Playboy party.
Giving it to her. No pause.
The Joker said, my favorite Joker, Jack Nicholson said, if you gotta go with a
Did you
smile.
just say the N-word?
No, I said Jack
Yeah,
Nicholson.
Mr. Finley better not say the N-word.
Mr. Finley, are you sad about Diane Keaton dying? I'm sad about her being dead.
Who?
Diane Keaton.
Is it on me now?
I'm pretty sure
Like her
it is on me.
Yeah, Bob Dizzle. Fuck Ab Dizzle. He can't say shit. That's crazy.
Oh, sorry, Abdizel.
As long as Michael Keaton's still alive.
Ooh, that is so rude.
One mic on Ab Dizzle. One mic on Ab Dizzle, bro. God damn.
Yeah. So where I think Steph Curry fucked up was yeah, you guys not gonna like this, but marrying a black woman. That's what it is. Black women's constantly in a competition with a black man. Never wanna take the back seat. Look at the other superstar athletes. Pat Mahomes married a good old white woman. You think she married about taking his spotlight?
What about Savannah and LeBron?
And Cookie
Excuse me. Thank you. Look at Pat Mahomes. You think he gotta worry his good white woman up on The View and shit, talking about he's too good, he's too famous, blah, blah, blah. Saquon Barkley, another great example. These are like household names. He don't gotta worry about Kobe. His Latina took him back after a rape charge. No black woman doing that. I'm sorry. Y'all just don't want to hear the truth. No black woman taking, especially against a rape charge against a white woman. That's insane. Vanessa stood by him. So, yeah, you guys want to talk about LeBron. First of all, everyone knows LeBron's like a serial cheater. Like, everyone talks about it. So, yeah, they might seem like a happy couple.
And
but
Savannah ain't crying about it.
All right, that's a good point, but come on, that's one out of what?
Magic brought Cookie A's, fam, and she's still there. She's still there, fam.
That's wild as fuck.
But you Finley, listen, you're also talking about guys that were born in the 60s, all right?
Yeah,
we're in the new age,
slavery, yeah.
Yeah, we're in the new age, buddy. Like, we're in 2025. We're in today's game. Stop looking back at black and white highlights, all right? But yeah, I'ma just land there. Like, pretty much, I think he fucked up marrying a black woman. I think he fucked up. I think if he would have married an Asian, a Latina, a white, she would have just rested her femininity and just take the back seat, be the supportive wife instead of trying to outshine a fucking legend, a guy that literally changed the game. So I'll just leave it there.
It's sad but true. Every word. Every stinking word he said.
Steph Curry made it cool to be short. He's a short ass bastard.
He's not short, he's 6'2".
That's short in the NBA, bro. You know that.
Not for a PG.
Bro, that's the average. That's really short for
You
him.
get yourself an American black woman, you got a competitor. That's what you picked up.
Oh, that shit is fucking crazy, bro.
Someone that thinks they are better than you, even though you're providing every fucking thing to this person's life, they still think in the back of their mind that they are better than you and they can do better than you. Ain't that some shit?
I think, is that because of the media portrays us in such a negative light? We're just portrayed as being incompetent. And I don't know, I think that's it.
Do y'all, to nobody in particular, man, do y'all, never mind, because sometimes I feel like this is a room where everybody's trolling, right? But at the same time, like, goddamn, like, do y'all seriously feel like women won't fuck with you? Like, I'm trying to figure out, like, what the fuck the complaint is. Like, obviously, you're married, so you got uncle problems. Like, you're married. We know you good, bro.
Uncle problems?
Like,
it's not the dating. If you're looking at the statistics, there's not a problem with pussy, Orion. What the problem is the parenting part. You know, the long term. Are we gonna stay together? We're gonna be sharing.
But that's part of it, bro.
No, it's not.
From my perspective, it is. Maybe we view it differently.
Wait, what do you mean that's part of it?
That's not part of it. Everybody can get fucked. That's not the problem. The problem is the moving in with each other, the sharing bank statements, just long-term family relationships. The part that's completely missing today. And the reason is because that woman thinks she's better than you. She always thinks that she can move on to another nigga. To the left. Everything you own in a box to the left. You ain't shit, nigga. I can replace you.
I don't think a woman would say that if she loved you, though.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Come on, bro.
Like, come on now. But if she loves you if she loves you and trusts you and wants you, like, what the fuck is...
I understand what you're saying. It's very counterintuitive. But what you gotta realize is love doesn't matter. Economics and comfort and the Joneses override love. Love isn't the overarching force that puts people together.
But she handled that though. Yeah, she's still DMing that one. I mean,
that's what I'm saying, bro. Like if we...
So that's because that's even worse because that is even worse because it shows you so love is not, I'm not here. Love isn't unimportant, but it isn't the overarching thing. So while she has all of those other things, those ring hollow when there's no love. Those are, if you had love and you had all of those things, that's obviously the best scenario. You got the love, you have the all the economics, you have all the freedom. Those are great, right? Actually, I had a guy who did some work for me, showed me his picture, him and his wife, 40 years, fucking in Spain for fucking 3 weeks, right? He said, I love her. And he said it right then as an old man with his wife. She looked beautiful. So they got it, right? They got the time, they got the finances, they got the commitment, they got the love. If you don't have the love and you have everything else, it's worse than if you just had love.
That is like, because I feel like my bad. I cut.
You're good.
I guess I think like the way that I'm thinking of it, man, I'm like, look, if you met a human being on this planet Earth and you've invested in advancing as human beings, we acquired this, we acquired that, we did this, we did that. Remember that shit? Like you should have enough stories that you can share over time. Enough things that you've done together that tie you together. Like I feel like part of the game is like I guess I don't believe in game, right? I don't think like, oh, you don't have game.
You don't believe in game?
But here's what I'm saying. I think I ultimately think when people say game, just means how if you say a dude doesn't have, all that means is he's not good at getting to know people and getting to earn their trust and establish a relationship. That's what game is. So how do you get to know this person? How do you establish trust? How do you build a relationship? That's game, right? And so but I don't believe in game. That's a good human. Like if I get to know you and I naturally think you're cool and I like you and it's like, oh shit, well damn, well let's do this together, let's do that together, and then also like there's a sexual attraction as well, and just let all that shit happen naturally. is, you know what I'm saying? I think like when that happens, it's the most organic approach rather than being like, let me trap a woman in a situation. That's not even performative. That's just like, look, if there's no there, I'm gonna throw my hands in the air like, fuck it. Yeah, I'm not trying to force shit.
But Ryan, the game is that ability to spark that, right? And some guys ain't got that, fam. Some guys don't have that ability. They just don't.
Yeah, I don't think
I'm just telling you what you said. This is not to the overall conversation. I'm just attacking. I'm just attacking his saying that game is the thing. Game is absolutely a thing. One of the three things men need to attract women: game, money, or resource, or looks. And looks are the three things.
That's just the approach. We're talking about Steve Curry and his wife. This is a long-term
Steph Curry.
He said Antoine Curry. That's crazy.
So this is a long. I know this is difficult for you because I don't see that coming in your future. But this is a long-term life commitment that what we're talking about. We're not talking about just walking up on some random chick. Hey, you like me? I like you, and let's do something. No, this is 20 years. That's what we're talking about. The mentality of the individual are they committed to not just you, but the relationship and also to duty?
Isn't that what I was saying?
Ryan, I wanted to say something to what you said.
Ryan, you and said the same thing, Ryan.
You were talking about the initial part, like, hey, my name is O'Ryan. What's your name?
No, I said build a relationship, get to know a person, like have experiences together. That's what I was saying. That's not just introducing yourself to a woman, sparking up a conversation. That's basic shit. Like, you could get the number but never go on a date. You could go on a date, but she never comes to your house. She could come to your house, but she's not your girlfriend. She can, you know what I mean? Like, to go all the way.
I think
I dig what I'm saying. I'm talking about like
organic situation. That's cool. I'm with you on that. But I think game also can be included in that organic scenario, right?